She wasn't planning a wedding. She was preparing for goodbye. But before she left, she had one last promise to keep. Room 27 had been the same for weeks. Same machines, same soft beeping, same woman, fighting a battle she already understood. Her name was Evelyn, a government worker, strong, independent, the kind of woman who spent her whole life taking care of others. But now, there was nothing more medicine could do. The cancer she had beaten years ago had returned, and this time, it didn't come to negotiate. Evelyn knew. The doctors knew. Even the silence in the room knew. But strangely, she wasn't afraid. One evening as I checked her vitals, she looked at me and smiled. A calm, almost peaceful smile. "Nurse," she said softly, "I want to get married." I paused. Not because it was impossible, but because of what it meant. "How soon?" I asked gently, before I run out of time. Her fiancé had been by her side for many years, through life, struggles, quiet victories, but they never made it official. Not because they didn't love each other, but because life kept moving, and they thought they had time. Now, time was the one thing they didn't have. Evelyn wasn't asking for a big wedding. No decorations, no crowd, just a simple ceremony, she said, in this room, or anywhere quiet. But something about the way she said it, something about how small she made her final wish, didn't sit right with me. Because this wasn't just a wedding, it was love, trying to leave something behind. Later that night, she told me the real reason. "I want him to be protected," she said. "My benefits, my pension, I want it to go to him when I'm gone." Her voice was steady. At that moment, I made a decision. If this was going to be her last chapter, it would not be small. The next morning, I spoke to my colleagues. "We're giving her a wedding," I said. And just like that, a hospital ward became a planning ground. We didn't have much, but we had enough. White bedsheets became decor. Flowers were borrowed. Phones became cameras. But the most important thing was how we made her feel. She had no idea. Behind the scenes, everyone was involved. Because somehow, Evelyn's story touched everyone. On the day of the wedding, I walked into her room. She looked fragile, but beautiful. "Are you ready?" I asked. She smiled. "I've been ready for him my whole life." We helped her get dressed, adjusted her hair, held her hands when emotions rose. There were moments we laughed, moments we went quiet, moments where none of us could speak. Then, it was time. As we wheeled her out, she didn't expect what she saw. The entire hallway was filled. Staff lined both sides, clapping, smiling, some already crying. This is for me?" she asked, and in that moment, her eyes filled with tears, not of fear, but of being seen, of being loved. We took her to the chapel. Her fiancé was already there. The moment he saw her, he broke, and that was the moment he couldn't hold it together. When they said "I do," it felt like time paused, like the world stepped back to let love speak. There was no loud celebration, no music, just quiet tears, and a love that refused to be rushed. Even at the end, after the ceremony, Evelyn held my hand. "Thank you," she whispered. "You didn't just give me a wedding," she buzzed. "You gave me peace." Days later, her room became quiet again. But this time, it felt different. Not empty. Complete. Because she didn't leave with regrets. She left knowing that the man she loved would be taken care of.